everybody, and welcome back to the Ordinary Critics. Today, we will be reviewing Incredibles 2.
You can see me, I'm invisible.
Hello everybody, I am Isaac.
And I'm Carlos, and we're just two ordinary guys reviewing extraordinary movies.
Or in this case, super incredible.
Incredibles? Extra Incredibles?
All the things today. So we are reviewing The Incredibles 2. We saw it opening night, and we have only been waiting 14 years for this one.
Brief 14 years.
Thank you, Disney Pixar.
I want you to take a moment and think back on what were you doing, like what you were doing 14 years ago. How old were you?
We were in middle school.
Yeah, we were. Anyway,
so the funny thing about this is that there's this debate on Twitter saying, is it a kids movie or is it an adults movie? Because the kids who are watching it have no idea what happened in the first one because they weren't here.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, they weren't born yet.
They weren't born yet. Some of the actors in this movie weren't born yet.
True. So the funny thing is that we went to see it in the movie theater. We went to the 10 o'clock show, and there were
opening night. It was packed.
It was packed, but there were also little kids at 10 o'clock. Which my first thought was, why are they awake? Go home. Right. Second thought was, the parents probably dragged the kids because they wanted to see
We've been waiting for this for 14 years. You're coming with me so I don't look weird. So they were like, they forced their kids to come. The kids like, I don't want to see this movie.
And they all probably had a great time because it's an incredible movie.
It's insane, guys. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. It lives up to the hype and more.
Yeah, so
you want to just jump right in? Okay, so from here on out, unless you have something else to say.
No, like, I just wanted to give a brief synopsis of what this movie is about.
Sure.
Without giving any spoilers.
Okay, so this is spoiler-free.
Yeah, so the movie is about, it basically picks up where we left off in the last movie. They're like fighting the Underminer, and then it just, it's a movie about what happens next. They're trying to bring the superheroes back, and they're trying to still work together as a family, as the Incredibles movies do.
Right, it's all about family, and it's all about the Parr family, with Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, Dash, Violet, and Jack. And it's them dealing.
And Frozone, of course.
Frozone is there.
Forget Frozone. Uncle Froze. Yeah, Uncle Lucius.
Uncle Fro. No, but it's just them. It's dealing with the super power side of things, but also dealing with just plain family stuff, which is a really cool like juxtaposition for everything.
Yeah. So go watch the movie. You won't regret it. And now, from now on,
there are spoilers.
Spoilers.
So just so you know, there are spoilers from here on out in this video.
Yeah. So go watch the movie. Like,
go watch the movie. Pause this. Go watch the movie. Come back and finish this out.
Yeah.
Or if you really want to check out our score, there will be a link down below. Click on it. It'll go to our report card at the end of this movie. So from here on out, there are spoilers. Again, spoilers.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Let's go. So the plot of this movie. It was great. It was great.
It did everything that I wanted the movie to do.
Absolutely.
We kept saying, I just wanted the movie to meet expectations.
Yes.
It went so far and beyond.
Skyrocketed.
It was amazing. Not only was it visually impressive, but it touched home a lot of times.
It did. It is a movie about family, and like what that entails. Like we said in the intro a little bit, not just the superhero side of things, but like there's a point where Violet's dealing with boy troubles, and Dash
we all do.
Dash has to like needs help with his math homework,
like we all did,
and Bob doesn't know what he's doing because he's like, they changed math. What? Which that's the thing now in schools.
They changed math.
Both my parents are teachers, and like they're like, yeah, it's this new Common Core thing. And I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense, and I love math.
Yeah,
and this new thing doesn't make sense. So and then Jack is just
Jack.
He's Jack. He's growing up, and he's growing into his powers. And what we counted 9.
Yeah, but then I've been reading about this.
Oh, okay.
And somebody counted up to 15. But granted, a lot of them were like demon baby form in flames. So that counted as two when we were just like mixing powers.
Yeah, okay, so let's list them off. So we got demon baby. We have multiplication, fire,
eyes,
laser eyes.
Into like transportation.
Oh yeah, interdimensional transportation.
Yeah, and also going to like the other realm too.
Yeah, it's
flying
or levitate. He can levitate.
Levitation.
He can like grow.
Yeah, growing.
He only did it once, but it was like what?
Yeah, did we mention polymorphing?
Oh yeah, he can shapeshift.
Yeah, he was shapeshifted into Etna.
It was amazing, and that's what. Like Bob is fed up with like babysitting him, and so he like brings Jack to E, and he's like, "Nah, I don't babysit." And then he does that, shapeshifts into her, and she's like, "Yes, you're coming with me. Goodbye."
They bonded.
Oh, it's crazy, it's crazy. And there was one more I was gonna say. At least one more.
We'll get to it. We'll remember it later.
A lot. He has a lot of powers. Where in this world, that's very odd because. A lot of people only have one power. So, Mr. Incredible is super strength. Elastigirl can stretch. Violet has the force field. Well, okay, Violet has force fields and invisibility,
which is basically controlling. I guess you can
ultraviolet rays.
Yeah,
right?
ultraviolet rays. Yeah.
And then Dash is really fast. So, and then you have Frozone, who has ice, like can create anything dealing with ice. Or freezing water.
Yeah.
So you see these superheroes, supers. Have just one power, but then Jack has so many.
Yeah, and it's
just.
I remember reading once that it's because he is Jack. He's a jack of all trades.
Heyo.
Hey.
So, which I mean, that's
makes sense.
Clever, but it's just crazy that in this world this is happening. So I'm excited to see. There's got to be a third one, right?
I sure hope so.
I want to see that. Just please don't let us wait 14 years for this next one.
Oh man, 14 years. It's
just like
that ain't that long.
How about like 4?
How about we have that 7 years?
7. Okay, so max of 7.
So we just mentioned all these things, right? All these incredible things that happen in the movie. We never see any of that in the trailer.
Right.
We want to talk about that.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Every movie. This is a bold statement alert. Every movie needs to watch the trailer for Incredibles 2 and make their trailers like that. Everything that happened in the trailer happened in what? The first 15 to 20 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
And that is it. We got very little plot. We got very little spoilers. And I was still really freaking excited.
Yeah. We just got little hints of scenes that kind of piqued interest, but that was it. We didn't know exactly what was going on. We kind of got a glimpse of the villain, but
Screenslaver,
but we didn't know what was gonna happen.
We didn't know what the motive was. We didn't know what was happening because I feel like nowadays you see like the theatrical release trailers for all of these movies, and you know everything about it. So why go watch the movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you can just watch it on YouTube in 2 minutes.
True story.
But Incredibles 2, they did the trailer right, and I was. It was just good job.
Yeah,
good job.
Great job.
So next up, what we want to talk about, we mentioned the Screenslaver. So Screenslaver is the villain of this movie, and it's just very topical because basically they put a hypnosis thing on screens to control people, Screenslaver, which is very topical because
we keep talking about this generation and just how
we're the screen generation.
Yeah, we're the screen generation. We're always on our phones. We're always like.
I mean, you're watching this video on your phone or on your laptop on a screen right now.
Yes, right. So we're the Screenslavers.
Plot twist. No, but it's just it's so topical because I mean, I use my phone for everything. I use my laptop for work. I use computers. I use every kind of screen you could possibly imagine. I know you guys do too. And there was I was walking through Central Park one day on my phone, just like whatever, and a guy like almost bumped into me, and he's like, "Look up, zombie." He literally said that to me, and I'm like, "You're not wrong." But I was still really rude, dude.
But you're rude.
You're rude. But no, it's just like that's the culture.
It hurt my feelings.
It hurt my feelings, and then I looked up and I was like, oh, I'm about to cross the street. Thanks, dog. But no, it's just the name and that villain and that power to control with the screens is very topical and very just. It was a lot more profound than I thought it was going to be.
It was a message. They got away with a lot of messages in this movie.
They did. It was very like.
Some of them very subtle, some of them very upfront.
Sneaky political.
Yeah, it was sneaky, yeah.
Which is great.
And talking about messages, this movie was heartwarming. And it was all about, the message about how the family moves on and how they end up working together. And about, one of the biggest topics was role reversal between Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible. How all of a sudden Mr. Incredible needs to be the stay-at-home dad. Right. And Elastigirl is the breadwinner of the...
Breadwinner. She's going out, she's fighting crime, she's stopping all these things from happening to try to get supers legal again. Because they were banned back in, the 50s?
Yeah, you guys remember from the first movie?
The first one, so that's why it's a big deal that, the kids have superpowers. They're supers, but they can't use them. Well, now they're trying to...
giving the kids choice. That was so deep. Giving the kids the choice whether they want to be supers or not instead of being forced into being something.
Exactly. And there's a line that Mr. Incredible says. He's like, I want to succeed at being like a stay-at-home dad, so Elastigirl can succeed at being the superhero, so we all can succeed. But it's very flustered. He's like, I want to succeed so she can succeed, so we can all succeed. And I'm just like, but that's the heart of this movie. It's all about family. It's all about it's not just dealing with the super side of things, but it's also, like we mentioned, it's like Violet has boy troubles. That's her entire arc in this movie. Is she has boy troubles. And Dash is like going to school and doing homework.
Yeah, and it's the struggle of Mr. Incredible finally has to stay at home with Jack.
Right.
And that's crazy. And although it's because of his superpowers, I feel like a lot of parents feel that way with their kids too.
Right.
All of a sudden, it's crying. I
don't know what to do.
Give me something. But if I take that away, it's gonna start crying again. I don't know
for something else, and it's just it was very.
Yeah. Or how are you here? I left you way over there.
Right. And I'm just watching TV, and how are you next to me now?
Yeah.
it's just funny.
So I felt like a lot of people can identify with the problems that they encounter as a family, and how they end up resolving all these issues, which was, I thought, very well done. Yeah,
it was good.
It was a great movie.
It's a great movie. It's excellent. It's an excellent film. Excellent film. All right, moving on to the cast. Basically, for I think 97% of the old cast is back. So we got Brad Bird direct and wrote it. Yeah. We got Craig T. Nelson as Bob. Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, we have Holly Hunter as Elastigirl.
Sarah Vowell as Violet.
Huck Milner is the new one.
He's Dash. So, as we guessed it, since the first one was 14 years ago, the old Dash, which was I don't remember his name.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. Spencer?
Was it?
I can't.
Jake somebody. Steven. It's right here.
It's right here.
It's right here. No,
his voice deepened.
Because he grew up. He grew up. So they had to recast Dash, but I couldn't notice it. I didn't notice a difference. I did not notice a difference at all.
No.
And Jack is also the same. He's voiced by Eli Fusil.
You may be wondering, how is it the same if it's 14 years? Because, they have the voice from 14 years ago.
He just took the old sounds that he made as a baby and put them into this movie, which we also guessed, which was... We're smart.
Yeah, it's clever. Honestly, it's clever and we're clever. So what can we say?
We're just ordinary.
And of course, Samuel L. Jackson
comes back as Frozone.
It's just smooth. It's great cast. It was great delivery of lines.
I'm glad everybody was back. Because the jumping right into continuity and immersion.
Yeah, it didn't take you away from continuity and immersion.
No, it's just you're continuing the story. It's interesting, though, that they picked, okay, it's 14 years later, but they decided to, go right where they left off. So, end of Incredibles 1, spoiler alert, the Underminer comes after they just beat Syndrome, and he's like, I'm whatever. He's a bad guy. He has like baddies and stuff like that. This movie starts with them fighting the Underminer, and I'm just saying the Underminer got away again. So, Incredible Family, you need to come on.
Come on. I'm hoping for a theme. I hope that
becomes
want
every movie
with the Underminer.
Right, but then like the fourth one or like their last one, he is the main villain.
Yeah,
like that's what I want.
That'd be great.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
but yeah, continuity immersion.
We're gonna be 60 when the fourth one comes out.
At this rate, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be 60. No, 54.
Sure.
I'll be 54.
Yeah, you're gonna be old.
I'll be old.
I'll look the same. It will not look so good.
I'll look great. Anyway, so yeah, continuity immersion. It was great. It was.
They went deeper into the lore.
Yes.
Elastigirl has more of a past. They mentioned she had a mohawk. She had a bike.
Yeah, and
a motorcycle.
Yeah, and Bob's like, what?
Yeah, it's like this whole other side that Bob never knew about.
He's like, yeah, you don't know that side of me. That was a long time ago. And then drives away, and you're like, but I want that movie.
Yeah,
I want prequels. I want prequels and the third one to come in 4 years.
So basically, continuity immersion. We were in it. We wanted to know. We want to know more.
So in this movie.
Yeah,
it was great. So that brings us to soundtrack.
And
this was probably one of our favorite things because it's just this little Easter egg. It's this little Easter egg, and this guy who's obsessed with supers, and he's the one leading the charge to like get them legal again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, when he meets Frozone and Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible for the first time, he goes, "Oh my God, you're Mr. Incredible," and like starts singing his theme
all
song.
the theme songs, and they're like
50s tunes.
Yeah,
just like
they sound like the Spider-Man theme song and like the Batman theme song.
The originals, like so corny, so catchy.
Yeah.
So you have Mr. Incredible has one, Elastigirl has one, and the Frozone has one, and Frozone's it's like a Shaft
kind of
theme.
Smooth,
it's like,
kind of feel.
Who's the cat that's always chill?
Frozone.
Voice of an angel, am I right?
Okay.
But no, it's just like it has that vibe to it. So whenever, when Elastigirl's going off on these missions, it has that feel of like, okay, yeah, we're like back in the 50s, like those old school movies and like those old school like cartoons.
And they put like the cartoonish kind of things, and a lot of times they have. This is not part of the soundtrack, but I just remembered they put Johnny Quest on a TV.
Yes.
Like
in like Bob's watching it Saturday. No, it was at night. It was
at night. They were watching Johnny Quest,
like primetime cartoons. Johnny Quest, and it was what was it? Outer
Limits.
Outer Limits was the other one that appeared, and it's just like this is amazing.
Yeah, but
amazing.
With the soundtrack, we left singing those songs.
Clearly,
like we looked for the songs. We were singing those songs, and so that's why we kind of know them now.
Right, it was great. And the other interesting thing is that Brad Bird, kind of soundtrack related, kind of everything else related, he like pulled from different movies. So like the Incredibles theme sounds like Mission Impossible because he worked on it. There was like
Brad Bird is someone to look out for because he's been in a lot of he's written or directed something that we like, a lot of things that we like.
Right, and I'm not familiar with like that name at all. He's like a sneaky up and coming guy who's been around in the business for 20 plus years.
Yeah, so would he be up and coming?
No, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know what to call it.
I think we can be more aware of these names.
He pulls from different movies, and you're like, oh yeah, this is from this movie, and this is from this movie, and X, Y, Z.
And then he's worked on all those movies.
And he's working on all those movies, so it's just like, oh, this all makes sense.
All
ties together. It makes perfect sense. So that's perfect lead into cinematography. Mm-hmm. It was shot so well. The fight scenes were... for lack of a better word, incredible.
They were incredible.
The
final battle between all the supers, how all the powers just kind of like go against each other,
counteract each other, and they're perfect counters. And it's interesting because you meet all these supers throughout the whole story, and Void's like, oh yeah, I can do like portals, and you're like, oh that'll come in handy, and like. And there's like the Crusher who can literally just crush things with his mind. And like there's all these separate powers and you're like, so, that's cool.
Yeah, so you get introduced separately to all the powers and you're like, alright, so where can they go with this?
Right, and then you have a fight sequence with Violet, Jack, and Dash.
And
Violet, Jack, and Dash. And you and they're all working together, but then all of these other supers are using their powers collectively too, as a team, when they've never been on a team before, and they counter it perfectly. And it's just like, oh.
Amazing, because Violet creates the orbs that nothing can get in, but then the girl who creates portals jumps in and
underneath it, and the Crusher crushes one.
Her. The guy with electricity is shooting lightning, and Violet creates the orb around him, so he electrocutes himself.
And that animation was really, really cool because like you have like all this 3D stuff with the Pixar side of things, but then the animation for the lightning bolts was like old school, like blue lightning.
And you can see the skeleton like.
It was really cool. But yeah, cinematography was great. I love how they incorporated, the Pixar side of things goes towards that 3D modeling, and then they also incorporated the Disney side of things where like some of the powers were animated, and some of the Johnny Quest was in the original animation and all of that stuff. So I really, really appreciated that they mixed those two mediums.
Brad Bird really had a vision, and he made it pull through, and it paid off.
Absolutely.
Like, it was incredible.
Absolutely.
It was incredible. We're just gonna keep saying because
that one wasn't even on purpose.
No, it was just Incredibles 2.
It was super. Ding. Okay, so that is our review. So right now we're gonna take you to our report card.
Yes.
So the plot, I give it a 9.
Give it a 9 too.
Cast 10.
10.
Continuity immersion 10.
10. I want to know more.
Soundtrack 10.
10.
Cinematography 10.
10.
We gave it a 98. That's an A.
That's an A+.
Solid A. But yeah, it's just, that's the thing. We were like, there's no way this movie is perfect after leaving the theater. There's no way that it's an 100 out of 100. And then we kept talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. And then we tried to think, what is wrong with this movie?
Yeah, and we read other reviews, being like, can we agree with these reviews?
Well, and that's the interesting thing, because we looked at some reviews, and they were like, oh yeah, it was great, blah, 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 doing all these stuff, 75. And I'm like, you didn't say a negative thing about the movie and you gave it a 75? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Variety. Yeah, I'll call you out. So I feel personally attacked by that review.
So yeah, basically, we loved the movie so much, we couldn't find a fault in it that we could take points off. So yeah, 98.
Right, 98. 98. And that was hard to take.
That was hard, yeah.
We're like, I can't give this an 100.
Yeah.
Just by principle alone. It's not that incredible. But it is.
But it is.
Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for watching our review. Click that like button. Leave us a comment what you thought about Incredibles 2.
Yeah, did you find any faults?
Yeah, can you find any faults? Did we miss something majorly? I almost said incredibly in this movie. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, let us know what you thought. Let us know what you want to see next. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell thing, because that's a thing apparently, that to get all of our notifications. And yeah, but just thank you so much for watching, and we really, really appreciate your support. And as always,
stay ordinary.
Who's the cat that's always chill?
Frozen.